Hi again then guys, and welcome to another Forza Horizon 3 top-end speed build with some acceleration and handling of course in there for good measure. And this time we've got a very exotic and pretty popular, at least from what I've seen, choice of off-road SUV, the Bowler EXR S, based of course on a Range Rover Sport. Pretty good basis to work from, it's already a good performance SUV. This one though takes it in a much more Paris-Dakar style build, which is effective, off-road, very effective. It's expensive, but it's also a very good all-round vehicle. Now, as far as conversions, I would recommend the 6.5 litre 1500 horsepower V12. Pretty much goes without saying, really. As far as the drivetrain, I would recommend keeping all-wheel drive. Again, pretty obvious. For aspiration, if you want the full 1500, you need the twin turbo, of course. And for the rest, of course, you know the drill. Race tyres, or I think in this case it's dirt tyres. Full power, lower the weight, all that good stuff that you would do to any car. Now, for the benchmark on this particular model, the top end speed is not quite as high. Now, some of the other rally raid style SUVs do have excellent top speeds, like the Ford T6 for instance. That car shocked me by how quick it was. This one, not so much. It has more the kind of speed that you'd probably expect it to have, around 235. But 3.6 to 100 isn't bad. 6.1 or 3.6 to 60 even, 6.1 to 100. It's not monstrous given the power that it has. It's actually a little bit slower in that regard. But the funny thing about the Bowler is it's one of those cars which feels, and I personally believe is, faster than its on-paper numbers would suggest. Not in terms of top speed, but for acceleration. 3.6 doesn't sound that great. 6.1 doesn't sound that great. But it definitely performs better than that. In an actual racing scenario, you can easily keep up with cars with better numbers than that. Now, as far as the gearbox, I'd recommend a final drive of 4, then individual gears of 2.89, 2, 1.5, 1.17, 0.95 and 0.78. As far as alignment, we've got that on neutral camber and tow, 4 degrees of caster, anti-roll on 22 and 26, springs as low as possible, front and rear, or as soft as possible I should say, as high as possible for ride height itself. Then for the dampers we've got those on 5, and then 3.5 and 3.6, because if you change that down to 3.5 it hurts the 0 to 60 a little bit. So you can round it off if you want to, but I opted not to. Aero doesn't apply on this one. And for the diff, I've gone for 100% on acceleration, 0 on decel, and for this particular car, an 80% split in favour of the back end, which is a little bit higher than I'd typically go, but I would say anywhere between 70 and 80 is a pretty good bet for this car. You get the best of both worlds in terms of launch and handling, of course on and off-road. Now, this tune is on my storefront. It's actually one of my older tunes. So if you want to check that out there, you can use the keywords down in the video description to find it in the search. But for now, of course, let's take it out on the street to see how it performs. Now, for sheer straight line speed, this isn't my go-to SUV or off-roader for that kind of performance. This is, as I've said with a couple of other cars and a couple of other tunes, just a build for those who want that kind of speed from this car. People who are going to use the car anyway, but they just need that extra bit of top-end performance for the scenarios where you'll need it. Maybe you're up against an SUV with better top-end speed. This can help with that. Now, the handling overall is much more inclined to being an off-roader, so it wallows around a little bit more than something like an Escalade, for instance, would, but it's not bad. Not by any means. It's actually a lot of fun, and I know a lot of people love this car. So, I hope you enjoyed this tune, of course, and there are hundreds more to check out on the channel. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.